Today's hearing can be difficult to decipher, so we asked a local psychologist. Dr. Stuart Bassman works with victims of sexual assault and violence. He watched the hearings and says he noticed anger, fear, and resentment. In most of his cases, the victims have delayed reporting. He says it's actually more common to hide trauma because victims are ashamed.
And for the 90% of the individuals that do not speak up, that wait decades to speak up, it's usually because they're afraid that someone will hurt others.
Dr. Bassman says at the end of the day, we are all Americans, and when one of us is hurting, we are all hurting.
Well, the Kavanaugh hearing was not just a major moment for the Supreme Court, but really for our nation's culture as a whole. So today we checked in with people right here in the tri-state to hear what they thought of this testimony. Inside the Bluebird restaurant in Norwood, the hearings were on all the TVs and the volume was up.
I mean, I don't want to say for sure if she's lying or not, but sexual assault is something that should be taken really seriously. I'm just curious as to why she's coming out almost 30 years later.
I believe her. I think what happens is when something like that happens to a woman, it does take time for them to come out.
And students at Xavier also listened to today's testimony and had something to say as well.
As somebody who's been on this campus, I've actually been involved in sexual assault awareness, and it's horrifying how much gets pushed under the rug, how many people are afraid to report. So I'm glad she's speaking out and finally telling her story.
I'm horrified that something like this can happen, and it's hard living on a campus, a college campus. I mean, you hear about it, and it can really just happen to anyone, and I just think these allegations need to be taken seriously.
And the Senate is expected to vote on whether to confirm Kavanaugh tomorrow. So if you want to talk about sexual assault with advocates or even professionals, there's a number to call. The hotline number for Women Helping Women is 381-5610. We also have a link for that number at local12.com.